I'm Karie Meltzer with Investing Answers, and I'm here with Sara, our Chief Investment Strategist.
Hey, Karie.
Hey, we're here to talk about why retirement is often very different for women than it is for men. So, Sara, what comes to mind when you think about one of the first reasons why this might be true?
The first thing I think of is that women's time in retirement is usually much longer than a man's. If our life expectancy is 5 years longer than men's life expectancies, that's 5 more years our nest egg has to provide income for us in our later years.
Right, and so women have to stretch their savings out, and often that's the time in our lives when we have much more expensive healthcare needs, so that can be pretty tough.
Absolutely, it can make it hard to stretch your last dollars.
What about women's earning power over time? Like starting when we enter the workforce all the way to retirement, how is it often different from men?
Right, I mean, there are many studies that show that women make less over their lifetime, and whether that's from personal decisions, leaving work to take care of children, leaving work to take care of parents, working from home through your whole career, women just tend to earn less. And when you pair that with the additional time we spend in retirement, that makes saving for retirement more of a challenge.
Exactly. And speaking of people who are retired, my grandmother is a perfect example of this. She's 87 years old. And sometimes when I go visit her, I notice that she's actually on her computer trading stocks in the middle of the day. It's amazing. She's like, a Wall Street analyst, but she's just sitting there trading stocks in her bathrobe, And I was like, Grandma, how did you get so savvy with your investing? I mean, most of my friends wouldn't even know where to begin. And she was telling me that when my grandfather died about 4 years ago, she had to really start doing everything on her own. And so she had to manage the family trust, and she started watching more finance news shows and subscribing to more money magazines. And she told me that, she didn't take a lot of time to learn about this while she was younger and she was a young mom. I mean, she was taking care of 4 kids, and my grandfather was the one earning more of the money. And so not only did she not have a lot of her own extra money to invest, she didn't really have the time to learn. And so now that everything's kind of in her hands, she's getting a lot back from her kids who are teaching her what they learned. Like my dad's pretty into investing, and so she calls him when she's excited about a stock and gets advice from him. So it seems like it all came full circle. She spent a lot of time caring for them, and now her kids are taking care of her, but still she's the one learning. And it just goes to show that, if she can do it at 87, we can do it now.
Right. I think what women, regardless of their age, need to realize is that if you start now and really take this seriously, you can really accumulate a good little nest egg by the time you retire. So whether you're 23 or 33 or 83, if you start learning about investing now, you can really make a lot of inroads and build up a nice little stash.
Exactly. It's so great that there are sites like LearnVest that really try to gear their information to make it comfortable for women to read and interact with, and
walk you through it step by step. How much easier could it be? I think the main action to take here is if you haven't started, you can start today. There's a lot of tutorials out there. LearnVest has put together a step-by-step boot camp to get you on the right track so that you can have a really nice, wealthy retirement.
Oh, well, thank you, Sara. I'm so glad that you talked to me today about why retirement can be tough for women and gave some great advice on how we can make some changes starting today.
Yeah, thanks, Karie.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. Again, I'm Karie Meltzer, and this is Sara, and we hope you learned a lot about why retirement is different for women.